Welcome you to Fox 2 News at 10. I'm Hillary Golston. We start with a disturbing case out of Pontiac. A father accused of doing the unthinkable to his own children. Deputies say he brutally beat and choked his young son. Investigators say they found another child with what appeared to be cigarette burns on his body. That little boy is only 1 year old. Fox 2's Tanisha Cordell has been working this story for us tonight. And Tanisha, I'm sure the Oakland County Sheriff had some very strong words about these just horrific allegations.
Yeah, you know what we've learned, Hillary, about this case is horrific. It's disturbing, but also just heartbreaking. You know, the sheriff telling us that these kids live with their father, who did appear in court today facing some serious charges you can imagine regarding child abuse, and details revealing from that case showing that that 9-year-old told deputies his dad beat and choked him because he fell asleep on the couch. A tragic Thursday night at a home here in Pontiac on South Edith Street.
This is horrific and never an acceptable situation.
Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard says 2 boys, a 9 and 1-year-old, were home alone. He says their dad, 38-year-old Cedric Moore, had gone to the store when the 9-year-old ran to a neighbor for help, calling 911.
The child couldn't articulate where the house was, and so they had to kind of work backwards from different ideas and clues, and even look for camera footage in the area.
And they did. Investigators learning about a possible history of abuse.
On this particular date, the older child had been beaten pretty heavily with a variety of things, including the wooden portion of a broom, and then choked to unconsciousness and told it was going to continue throughout the night. The younger child, according to the older child, had been thrown into the crib when the child was crying because he was hungry. And it looks like that baby, the 1-year-old, may have some historic injuries that may resemble burn marks like a cigarette.
Moore was arrested that same night, telling a relative he had been whooping his son for stealing. The 38-year-old charged with 2nd and 4th degree child abuse. His bond set at $100,000. The sheriff urging anyone aware of abuse like this to report it immediately.
To leave a child in a torture situation is unconscionable. Our humanity needs to rise to the surface and think of that child first.
Now, well, Sheriff Bouchard says this investigation is long from over. His team looking for any more signs of child abuse and any other indicators they can find inside that home where this family lived. Now, this team also trying to work to determine where these kids will live permanently. That 1-year-old we know is placed with Child Protective Services. That 9-year-old, again, still recovering tonight. Now, for Now Live reporting, I'm Tanisha Cordell, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, and Tanisha, we have found from meta-analysis, even from the NIH, that there's often an association between mental health and this kind of horrific abuse. Did investigators find anything about a connection between that with this father and maybe even a criminal record here?
Yeah, that's one of the questions we asked Sheriff Bouchard. He says right now there seems to be no signs of mental health there, and also no word yet just on the dad, if he had any run-in with police in the past. Now, we do know the 1-year-old's mother is incarcerated. Again, we know that 9-year-old's still in the hospital. So all the circumstances, Sheriff saying, surrounding the situation are still under investigation. Lots more to uncover, but also top priority is just the safety, of these kids, Hillary.
All right, Tanisha Cordell, thank you so much for handling this difficult case with care.